Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Straight Fire Picks. Best bets for NBA on Sunday, November 7th, 2021. My name is Steve and we're going to have 3 picks here for you today that I think are great value bets for the Sunday NBA slate. As always, just want to thank you all for your continued support in the channel. If you are new to the channel here today, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Always appreciate that. We're trying to reach 850 subscribers here by the end of the week. Also be sure to check out our community Discord page. It's a great place to connect with our community, to get new ideas for bets, to chat about sports. It's really a great resource. I'd highly encourage you to check that out. Also be sure to drop your favorite pick down below in the comment section. If you'd like it included in our comment capper section, just put a star or an asterisk next to your pick so I know what your official pick is. We also have a live stream coming up on Monday Night Football for the football game now between the Bears and the Steelers. That'll begin at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time. That'll be game audio with a watch party. So really looking forward to that. We always have a good time at those. A couple other quick announcements. We're running NBA episodes Wednesday through Sunday with Monday and Tuesday off. So just so you're aware of that, this will be the last NBA episode of the week before we take a couple days off. And then we'll be back again on Wednesday. Just allows me to refuel, recharge, and that kind of thing. Okay, and without further ado, getting into the results from our previous episode. So for our comment cappers, we had Mark Johnson calling Vucevic under 16.5 points for the Chicago Bulls at minus 108 odds. Was able to cash that. Great hit there from Mark. We love to see it. As far as the stream results went, 2-0. Another great day here in the NBA. That's 5-1 now in our last 2 episodes. We cashed on the Michael Porter Jr. under 16.5 points. He finished with 2, only played 7 minutes, ended up with a lower back strain. So I have an effect on players apparently. A lot of player props that I bet on, a lot of players get hurt. So that's why I've been switching more to unders. And it's still happening, which is just crazy. But I don't think he would have scored whether he finished the game or not. I still don't think he would have hit that over anyway. As far as our second bet, we had Zach LaVine over 33.5 PRAs. Cash this one easily. LaVine again had a big night there for the Bulls, hitting over 40 PRAs, and no sweat bet there. We love to see it. Again, we got that 2-0. We're going to get after it today, though. We're going to get that 3-0. So getting right into our picks. At number 1, we are going with the Cleveland Cavaliers plus 7.5 spread here versus the New York Knicks at MSG at minus 110 odds. So guys, the Cavs this season thus far have been road warriors. They've been absolutely terrific on the road. They're 5-2 against the spread on the road, 4-3 overall. But when you hear the wins that they had on the road, whew, they got wins over the Hornets, the Clippers, the Nuggets, and the Raptors on the road. All teams that I would consider pretty decent. These aren't bottom feeder teams. So very impressive there from the Cavs. You know, we took them the other day on the road against Toronto, and they cashed, so why wouldn't I take them here against the Knicks team that tends to underperform against their competition? They tend to play down to the level of their competition a lot of times. They haven't played as well at MSG either. You know, New York Knicks are just 2-2 at Madison Square Garden, 2-2 against the spread at home, with home losses to the Magic and the Raptors. So I like the Cavs here coming in on a Sunday afternoon with a day's rest. To at least keep this game close. I think 7.5 is way too many points here to give the Knicks. I know they're coming off that great win over the Bucks, but I think it's a little skewed when they look at the final score of what actually happened in that game. The Knicks were down by 20 plus there in the first half, and I think the Bucks just after that were like, "Oh, we won this game," and I think they just kind of cruised and didn't really make it hard on the Knicks. Well, I don't see that happening in this game. For one, I don't see the Cavs getting out to a huge lead. But like I said, this game will be a close game, just like the one was up in Toronto. So, I'm looking for the Cavs definitely to cover the spread. So far, the Cavs have had the 8th toughest schedule versus the New York Knicks having the 23rd toughest schedule. And you consider the fact that the Cavs are 6-4. It's very impressive. Knicks just 6-3. And they haven't had a tough schedule. They've had a couple bad losses. And, I know the win in Milwaukee. I know the win against the Celtics. They've had a couple good wins for sure. I like the Knicks, just not today. Not against the spread. They still could win, but like I said, they tend to play down to the level of their competition. So I love it there for our number 1 pick. Cleveland Cavaliers plus 7.5 spread here versus the Knicks at minus 110 odds. Okay, and at number 2, we are going with James Harden. Under 19.5 points here for the Brooklyn Nets versus the Raptors at minus 106 odds. So far, James Harden on the season is 6-3 to this under. His wins were when he scored 29, 20, and 20. So in 2 of the 3 wins, he just barely cashed this over. And then he had one where he had 29. But I think this isn't a great matchup again for Harden, and he hasn't had a lot of season success against this line. Raptors allow the 5th fewest points to point guards, so this is not a great matchup for him. Harden overall to start the year has had a very cold start from the field. He's shooting just 38.5% from the field. He'll still shoot his shots, but he has not been very efficient at all. And overall, again, he's playing a Raptors team here that are very good defensively overall as well. The Raptors are 7th in the NBA in defensive efficiency, so they're a very solid defensive unit. And like I said, they're particularly good against point guards. So this is not a great matchup for Harden, and even if it wasn't, he hasn't had great success anyway. He's really struggled this season. Like I said, 6-3 to this under so far. So I love it there for our number 2 pick. James Harden under 19.5 points here versus the Toronto Raptors at minus 106 odds. Okay, and finally at number 3, we have a bit of a fun bet here for you. A nice value bet. We're going LaMelo Ball over 2.5 3-pointers versus the Clippers at plus 130 odds. So believe it or not, despite the Clippers being a very solid defensive team overall, guards actually do very well against the Clippers. Both shooting guards and point guards. Point guards actually score the most amount of points against the Clippers in all the NBA. Very solid also hitting threes against Clippers. Clippers allow the 13th most threes made versus their opponents. So that's very good as well. And LaMelo Ball loves to shoot the 3. He's jacked it up 73 times so far this year. That's an average of 7.3 3-point attempts per game, so I like that. And he's shooting the ball well now. He's 13 out of 31 in his last 4 games from deep, which I like to see that. He did have a game in there where he went 0 for 6, but coming off a game where he went 4 for 8. They were against Sacramento, so I do like that. He's shooting 41% from deep on the year, so that's also very solid. He's 5-5 technically to this line this season, but like I said, he's cashed in 3 of his last 4, so I love to see that. And like I said, this is a great matchup here for him, taking on the Clippers, who don't actually play guards very well. And it's also worth noting, I also love LaMelo Ball's over for points as well. You could also look at that if you'd rather play something like that. His over-under is 19.5, and I loved his over. I was torn between the two. The reason why I went with the threes was like, you're getting better odds. You're getting plus 130 versus plus 100. And if he's going to hit his over for points, he's probably going to have to hit his over for threes as well. Usually the two go hand in hand. Both, his over-unders are 5-5, both on threes and in points. So then you're getting a little bit of extra value here taking the threes, so that's why I took the threes. So I love it there for our number 3 pick. LaMelo Ball over 2.5 threes here versus the Clippers at plus 130 odds. Okay, that's going to do it for our picks. If you enjoyed the content, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Always appreciate that. We're trying to reach 850 subscribers here by the end of the week. Other than that, it's going to do it for me. We've been really killing it in the NBA lately. The last 2 episodes have been really, really good. So, like I said, 5-1 in our last 2 episodes. Looking to keep it going. Let's get that 3-0 today again, guys. I wish you all the best of luck. Until we see you next episode, have a great rest of your day. Peace.